Welcome to Urban Grown Stories, the companion podcast for the Urban Grown Tour hosted by Cultivate KC. You will hear from urban farmers, growers, and the advocates across Kansas City metro area. From the history of local food in KC to the challenges new farmers face and the impactful ways you can get involved in our local food system, this story collection will leave you inspired, informed, and hungry for change.
In this episode, we visit Maple Creek Urban Farm to hear from Sandra and Bennett. This is their story.
Hi, I'm Sandra and Bennett. We are the owners of Maple Creek Urban Farm. We got a small scale urban farm. We started in 2020 growing hydroponic from our deck, and we loved it. We loved it. It went wow. And then after that, in 2021, we jumped into a raised bed. We just have one raised bed. We grew tomatoes and broccoli and cauliflower. It was lovely. It was a lot of going every day, every morning, and pick pet control and pick the small bags that were in there. But it was lovely for us just going every morning. And then we jump in 2021 to build this greenhouse that is in the middle of the garden farm. That was the first big jump. And we started tilling and facing the gravel and the clay that we have on the ground. That was one of the first challenges we have. We are still fighting gravel and clay. It was a parking lot. This was a parking lot before our farm, and that's what we have been fighting since then. Then in 2022, we keep expanding and make it bigger and bigger. This 2022, the chickens show up. That was the first batch of chickens. And chicken math, we keep adding chickens almost every year. And then the grapes came that year too. We don't have any background on growing.
When I was a kid, in the summers, we always had a large garden. And one of those things, you always had to go and work. And the better part of that was after a hard day's work, we usually got ice cream. So that was the sweetest part about it, and probably why I don't despise this. In fact, it's kind of a labor of love for sure, because otherwise you would never do this.
It's a labor of love, and your grandpa grew a lot. It's kind of like we always remind.
Yeah, my grandpa was a huge gardener, like always a large garden, but yeah, he had a lot of trees and always had tons of different varieties of things that he grew. So there's a little bit of a history, but growing anything on our own was the hydroponic setup in the beginning. And that was more the technicality side of it was the fun part for me, the challenge. The growing stuff is definitely Sandra.
I'm focused on veggies. We love tomatoes. We grow in 17 kind of tomatoes. We love something that since last year we grow in sorghum, and we absolutely love it that much. They give us for zero maintenance, say it like that. We press the sorghum and we got the molasses, and then we have the grain, which we actually mill it and we can make that go with it. So bread. That's one of our biggest love for the sorghum. Then this year are coming the fruit trees. We are gonna have 17 or more fruit trees. That's what we adding this year. And the bees. We want bees since 2020, but this year is the year of the bees.
Yeah, a lot of YouTube videos teaching us all the good and sometimes wrong ways to do things. And then the other aspect is fighting pests without pesticides. That's typically probably the hardest part, because we do not want to spray for anything with any chemicals.
We live with it. So if the pets are here, we grow for us and we grow for them. We know it. The stinky bugs. I just spend a lot of time catching them by hand, not trying to spray anything on them. The things that I can hold me at the beginning of the year is neem oil and maybe soapy water a little bit. But after that, it's just me every afternoon or every morning trying to get them. It takes a lot of time on me. That's
The little green caterpillars.
yes.
I don't think we grow broccoli other than the first year because there's nothing left.
It's time consuming just trying to do it by hand and not trying to go the easy way. This is Japanese beetles too, which the chickens love. So the first year I was so worried about the Japanese beetle, and we just discovered because we didn't know. The chickens love it, so we now catch them. Even though everybody says don't put the traps for them, I do because my chickens love it, and you love it. Gonna love putting on water, and it's so fun to watch. It's so fun.
Yeah, they fly away if you don't put them in water.
Yeah, we drown them on water, and the chickens eat it like crazy. I definitely want to add more native plants. That's gonna be in my plans for a little bit this year and probably next year. Definitely wants to grow them native plants, and I think if we want to master what we have. We may add something new every year just to know how to do it, and after that, we may adding more stuff.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, we grew a small crop of wheat, and processing that has been such a challenge. It's at a small scale. Like they don't make anything that's very efficient at basically pulling the berries from the chaff. So we struggled with that, but then we tried sorghum, and then that's an entirely different animal. It's way easier to deal with, and you get two different crops out of it. You get the berries and the juice. So we're definitely going to do that, but it's one of those you learn what's worth it and what's not. No, the reason we did sorghum is because it advertised it grows to 9 to 12 feet tall, and we grew it by the road as a fence. That was the main reason that we started with it, and then it, we knew that it had benefits, but we didn't know how cost effective it would be to process it, and it was the juice is worth the squeeze.
It is a time consuming. You gotta process it. We barely finished processing all the berries. Then about like what you call that, like
About a thresher, but it's like a small scale for like a test crop is what it really is for.
it takes forever to do it. That's what the wheat is not working for us because it takes so much time. And you say like, oh, that's a winter task, and winter just go by so fast, and it's still there in a bucket waiting for us to keep innovating with it.
It's very urban, so it's very small. A lot of things we do might not be efficient, but we do it because it looks better. Maybe
But we like it.
do a curved garden bed because it's neat. Maybe you don't get as many plants in, but you get a visual aspect of it too. So you get a little bit of that.
Yeah, we don't grow on rows. I love to do a companion plants, and that's a challenge at the time when it comes to harvest because everything is everywhere. But we love how it looks and the beneficial for every plant when you plant all these plants together. Something that we have that is and we love is the creek. We never thought like this creek is gonna give us so much life, but we definitely love it. That's where the ducks are here because we were sitting one day looking at and I said like you know what it's gonna be cool having ducks in here, and he said like yeah, of course. So next thing you know, next week the baby ducks were inside. So
I came home early from work, and there she was with baby ducks.
yes. It gives us a lot of life, and I love seeing them over there. Something else that I love from this place is the chickens, the ducks, the boat that is behind the chicken coop is just a future that you did it out of your head.
It's an inverted boat, so it's full of water.
Yes.
So the ducks swim in the boat when they're in their pen. We don't let them out in the creek all the time.
They weed the creek to keep it alive. I just want to do selective de-weeding. Like I want to keep the native and taking the invasive out of the creek to better looking, and actually the honeysuckles. It is keeping us really, really busy trying to get them out of our place.
starting your first year of a farm stand. That's definitely a thing that's keeping us busy.
I just established as a farm, which all the names and LLC. It was January this year. So it keeps us really, really busy to me trying to learn how to do it by myself. It's a thing this year. I love the idea of local food. It's open to everybody, but mainly for my neighbors. I love my neighbors to stop and talk to me. We have a lot of people driving by and just yelling me like, I love your garden. So it is for them. Like they can stop, they can talk to me, and they actually can have some of the products that we grow over here, all the things that I do and that I love.
So obviously it's seasonal. So right now she's got plants going. Obviously we have chicken eggs. She makes soap.
And I'm making bread, like a sourdough bread. So it's all the things that I love, I put it over there. And the neighbors stop, and it's an excuse to talk to me. So I love when everybody just drive by and stop and buy something and actually talk to me and show my place.
Because the first day she sold out of sourdough in record time. So if you wanted something and didn't have time to get over here immediately, you might just send a message and then
Yes.
you'll have it on reserve.
Yes.
Food for thought. How can you help support your local food system? Start with buying local through CSAs or your local farmers market. Volunteer at your local growing space, cultivate your own food, or voice your support of urban growing to your elected officials. Visit cultivatekc.org/urban-grown-stories for more information. For more on the growing site featured in today's episode, please check the show notes. Thank you for listening to Urban Grown Stories, a podcast brought to you by Cultivate KC in partnership with KC BizCare. Urban Grown Stories is hosted and produced by Jessica Garcia, with interviews recorded and edited by Kara Harpstreet, a Kansas Local Food Fellow with K-State Research and Extension. Production and editing support from Eric Hemphill and Ami Freeberg, with intros provided by Cultivate KC staff. Keep growing, Kansas City.